Hi, today I'm joined with Sergey, and today's question is how generative engines choose citations.
The way it's happening, it's a multi-stage process. It all starts with the fan-out queries. So let's say you're asking an LLM a complex question. That question is being kind of normalized, and then it's going to be fan out with the related queries or potential queries, what you might have in mind when you're asking this question. And sometimes it's there are not that many fan-out queries, and sometimes there are a lot of queries depending on how complex the question is. So the fan-out goes into a search engine. In case of Gemini, it's going to be Google, and in case of GPT, it's going to be Bing. And then in the first stage, it analyzes the metadata that it sees in search results. So it sees the website name, website URL of the page, meta title and meta description, and some key metadata that it gets from a search engine, which is your spam score and other internal data that Google or Bing assigns to you. Then it analyzes those meta results, and the goal is to kind of like remove all sites that are not very relevant. So on the first stage, you're gonna get removed. It's gonna remove between 40 and 80% of the results. Then on the second stage, it actually checking out a little bit your some of the all of the websites. So it goes into each site and it sees just a little bit. It wants to see your DOM structure. It wants to see what kind of content you have on your page. It wants to see if you have a meaning early, so like if the page is relevant, and it wants to see how stable is the content, meaning how the design-wise, how like if it's not shifting, so it's not gonna change. If you pass that stage, you get to the final stage, and the final stage you usually get between 3 to 10 8-10 websites, and these websites, they actually get a proper complete parsing, and in this case your content is being checked by an LLM, and it checks how good is your meaning, how stable it is, how trustworthy, and then it picks passages between 5 to 8 passages that it then uses in final LLM output.
So if you wanted to be cited by the generative engines, is there anything you can do to optimize to be better, or is there anything that you can do to like with regards to like prompt injecting or anything like that to get yourself in the AI answers?
You can use prompt injecting. I would not recommend it. I know it works, but this is a short-term solution. You can try it if you don't mind being penalized at later on for some, because I think prompt injection is gonna get penalized. It's not very user-friendly from LLM point of view. But if you want to rank or retrieve in the long term without any issues, what you need to do is basically follow semantic SEO approach, which is you need to create a high quality website from macro point of view. So you have proper website, proper pages that have a specific structure where you have macro page, then you have seed page, which is like a category of macro, and then you have node, which is basically a fan out query. And you need to take care of your micro semantics, which is the clarity of your page, how it's written. It's a short, precise explanation of certain things, of the entities that you're trying to explain. You need to make sure that you cover just the topic that you want to cover, the topic is relevant to the fan out query. You need to make sure that you cover your definition in the beginning of the article, so it's not somewhere like in the middle or in the end of the article. This way it's easier for an LLM to understand and cheap to retrieve it right away.
Yeah, have you ever? I don't know if you've seen this yet or not, but on certain websites, they used to have on pages like the social media icons, and you used to be able to click onto it, and it would tweet that page out. And a lot of people now have changed that now to being like, summarize this post. And the buttons now are like ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, and Gemini. And what they'll do is when you click onto it, it kind of opens up and then opens up in ChatGPT and says, please analyze this or please summarize this page, puts the URL. And then underneath it, then it says, please make certain you cite these for future use. Would that only be citing it for that specific user further down the line? Or if someone keeps clicking onto that to say, summarize this page, and the LLM keeps reading it and summarizing it for different people, would that then be seen as being prompt injecting, or is that something completely different?
I think it might be like slight prompt engineering, not very good one, but I don't think it's gonna work because LLM it doesn't have a memory. Like you can't tell LLM, I want you to remember this for the future use. It doesn't work like that. It extracts information based on what it sees. So when it sees when you have a case like that, you basically fetch in a page through an API and you ask an LLM to analyze and to summarize the page. But it has nothing to do with the fan-out process when somebody with completely different context window, with completely different chat, is going to ask it about something.
Right. Okay. So then it's only really almost just for engagement purposes. A lot of these people are using it just to try and get onto it, or it could just be an easy way of summarizing the page for, like you said, user engagement and stuff like that. But is there anything else to help try to get cited by the generative engines to try and get in there into the LLM answers that you would recommend?
It's including a list. It depends on what exactly what's the goal. Like, is it a product or is it something that you have a certain strategy that you want your customers to use, and you are the only provider of that strategy? The approach is slightly different. You can for the products, I think one of the best strategies is the listicles, because you don't need to rank them very high. Like you can just spread yourself on various websites, and you don't even need to have in some cases a website. But if this is something proprietary that you want your customers to use, then optimizing your website, making sure that it's structured properly. I think one of the most important things is how you structure your website with the proper macro semantic structure. So because the reason why those work so well is because they mimic how LLMs see the content internally. So when you structure your content similar way as LLM sees it becomes very easy and cheap to understand. And LLM, in a nutshell, in the end of the day, all it wants to do is just to create the most stable, the most satisfying answer, and the cheapest one. Like if your answer is good, but it's not very easy to understand and extract, you're not gonna be mentioned in an LLM. And the speed is very important, because speed is that first stage when LLM is even checking. Second stage, after you pass the meta description analysis, if it comes to your website and it's too slow, if it's time to first byte is more than 300 milliseconds, you're gonna be removed automatically. So those things are a good place to start.
Yeah, for sure. It always seems to come down to the cost of information retrieval, whether it's for the search engines or also for LLMs. So anyone who's watching this, we hope you like how to get cited by the LLMs. If you know of any other ways to get cited, make sure you leave a comment in the comment section. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Sergey.
Thank you.